Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Colleen.
And this is Sean.
And hey, Sean, remember our last video about Spain?
Yeah.
Well, I have news.
Oh, okay.
It involves France.
Okay. Wow.
And spin, spin, spin.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fun times. Wow. Hello, everybody. Last episode, we were in Spain. We're going to Spain and so forth.
Yes.
And we just didn't have enough time. We were just running out of time to do the video to include Nice, France, the south of France.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, France. But so
I'm excited.
But that's where we're going to be. The second place we're going to be going to. So we first started off in Barcelona
on the cruise.
Right, that we're going on in April. And now we'll transition over to Nice, France.
Yes.
And just to bring you up to speed, a couple of things that we found out about Nice, just trying to get prepped for going there. I'm excited to go there. But Nice actually has obviously south of France, so it's France, right? France. But one of the things that I didn't realize is that city didn't become part of France. It was actually part of Italy, from what I understand. A huge influence from Italy until like 1860 or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
So kind of a neat, I don't know, mixture of cultures potentially. We'll see when we go there and we create our video for that. So other things about the south of France, right? I mean, I feel like I should always be saying France.
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I got a little excited.
Got a little excited.
A little too excited.
So a couple things, right? It's much like Spain. It has supposedly 300 days plus of sunshine. So it's that Mediterranean type of climate.
One of the things on the top of our list.
Absolutely, weather. What else was there about the south of France? Oh, south of France is pretty much split up, from what I understand, into two different types of regions. You have the Riviera, I believe, on the western side of the south shore of France there, and then you have I can't remember the name of it, but the eastern portion of the Mediterranean coastline is something else. The Riviera is known for its glamour, its glitz, its money and movies and stuff like that. Whereas on the eastern side of southern France, it's from what I've read, it's more of an authentic feel to it in terms of a true authentic French feel, and so forth. So I believe Nice falls into that second category.
Okay.
I believe it does, but regardless, we're going to go check it out and see what's going on now. Just like the last episode for Barcelona, I wanted to try to find out some fun facts about where we're going. And the first thing that popped up, quite frankly, was food. Ooh, and the type of food you can get as you're walking down the street and whatnot. And there's this one thing that kept popping up called soca. It's a giant savory pancake made from chickpea flour and olive oil, baked in a wood-fired oven and heavily peppered. And I got to tell you, look at that. It is just
sounds amazing.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it looks like I could probably put on 10 pounds just in Nice just by eating that.
Yes.
In the day that we're there. Probably.
It's possible.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll weigh you before and after.
Okay. And then, Colleen, you're going to have to help me pronounce this.
Okay.
Because, again, everybody, I'm terrible. I barely pronounce English properly. So pronouncing this stuff is going to be crazy for me. But how would you say that?
Salade niçoise.
There you go. So salade niçoise. That's a true.
I know the niçoise is right.
Okay.
I don't know about the first one.
Okay. Well, a true niçoise never contains cooked vegetables. There's no potatoes, no rice allowed, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
So very excited to try that. And then the last thing that I came across was, and good luck trying to pronounce that. We'll put it up here on the screen. Hopefully you'll see it someplace up here. But and you're gonna love this one, Colleen. It's an onion tart topped with black olives and anchovies or fish paste.
Yikes!
Yum.
I'm not a huge seafood fan, people. So it's a little. That is something that we're going to have to explore when we're in some of these coastal areas for retirement.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a picky eater, and I'm sure we'll have some videos over the next 60 months about that.
Absolutely.
And seafood is one of my challenges.
What are the challenges? So living in the Mediterranean might be more of a challenge than we are anticipating.
But I do love like olive oil, fruits and vegetables, things of that nature.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
So a couple of fun, unique festivals and events that happen in Nice in particular. Okay. Mm-hmm. Le Carnaval de Nice. So the Nice Carnival. All right. It's one of the, I did not know this. It's one of the largest carnivals in the world, is what they're saying. Okay. It's known for, one of the things it's known for is the Battle of Flowers, where performers on floats throw thousands upon thousands of fresh lilies and mimosas into the crowd. I thought a mimosa was a drink.
It is a drink.
It is a drink.
I didn't know it was maybe it is I'm sure it is.
Well, either way, I'm going to love it. I love flowers and I love a good mimosa. So we'll win either way if we're there. Both. Now, from what I understand, actually, we're going to miss that because I think it just ended the beginning of March. I think it's in the second half of February into the first week of March, I believe.
We can come back for it.
So we'll have to come back for that. And good luck with my pronunciation on these things, but Festin den Kogordon. It's an April festival, so we'll potentially be there when this is happening. Mm-hmm. Celebrating this particular gourd or type of gourd or family of gourds. People paint and play music on dried gourds to celebrate the arrival of spring. Oh,
I love that. I love gourds.
Yeah, so it sounds pretty interesting. I'd love to experience. Hopefully, we are there when that is happening.
That would be really neat.
That would be neat. And then finally, just a little anecdote, a little story that I found out about something that happens every day at the same time in Nice, and that is the noon cannon. Okay, so every noon time, they used to fire off a real cannon, from what I understand. Now they don't do that. They just light off a giant firework.
Wow.
And it signals to everybody that it is noon. Okay. And the story behind it is that, I got to take a look real quick. It started in 1860, when Lord Coventry, who I believe was Scottish, he was a little frustrated with his wife. She was showing up late to lunches because she didn't realize that it was lunchtime. And so he asked the city leadership if they could shoot a cannon off on top of the castle hill, and basically to let his wife know that, hey, it's noon, it's time to eat, come on home, let's enjoy our lunch. Well, that happened, and then all of a sudden, they started doing that, and all of a sudden that family stopped coming back to Nice, and so the leadership decided, okay, let's not do this anymore. It's a waste of money, a waste of time. But from what I understand, the citizens of Nice had become so used to that they started come in a little bit of an uproar because they were missing lunch, maybe, or they couldn't remember what time it was because they weren't hearing that sound, that bang. For what I've read is that the people of Nice, it's just part of life now, and that noise, it's just part of the daily life. But you could always tell, from what I understand, when a tourist is around, because a tourist will actually jump when they hear the big bang because of the noon cannon.
So we'll know. We won't jump. We'll be prepared.
Well, I'll jump, but yes, we'll be prepared.
And secondly, you don't know anything about being frustrated with your wife, I would assume, correct?
Not at all. I've never suggested shooting a cannon anywhere near you.
That's right.
So, yet.
TBD.
One of the things, remember, that we're looking at. So that sounds very interesting, right?
It does. It sounds amazing.
But I've never been to France. This is going to be the first time that I've been in Europe, outside of visiting my son in Finland last year. But I'm excited to get there. And remember, one of the reasons that we're doing this is to explore places to live in our retirement, right? And one of the things that we always take into consideration, we've gone through that list before a number of times on these videos, but one of the things is cost of living, right? We want to make sure that we're able to leverage our retirement income, our retirement savings, into the lifestyle that we want to live. And so one of the things that we're talking about is always going to be what the cost of living is in the countries that we're visiting, in the town, in the areas that we're visiting. Last time, I don't think I mentioned it in the Barcelona one.
I don't think you did.
But we saw, again, we'll link it down below in the comments from the site that we're using. But in Spain, it's around, 26% lower cost of living than here in the States. Okay. Right. France, I thought France was going to be comparable to the United States, maybe even a little bit more expensive from the, what I had heard in the past and just loosely anecdotally. But this site is saying that they're 19% less expensive, all right, than here in the States. I'm curious to find out what drives that. From what I think I've seen, it's the cost of living savings comes from maybe housing.
Okay.
But that's something that we're going to have to explore.
And I think I mentioned it in our very first video. If you look at that, where we talk about our criteria, that some of the areas we're going to be visiting might not be traditionally thought of as a low cost area. But if you think about Paris or, Milan or any of these large cities in any of these countries that we're going to go to, large metropolitan areas, it probably is going to be as expensive or not, if not more expensive. But these are countries that have other cities, obviously, in them, shockingly. And there might be areas where we can take advantage of being in that country, have access to some of those cultural, places that we want to go that we talked about. And anyway, it's not off the list simply because in our minds, our preconceived notion, it might be a high cost. We're going to do the research. And that's really what the first part of this year, our journeys are going to be doing a lot of exploration and just kind of getting a taste of some of these places. And I think going forward after this year and throughout the next year to two is then going to be going back to places that we liked or that we haven't been to yet, and putting it through its paces, as you said.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So before we cut this one off, two things. We're going to be, our next video will be on the next port of call, a couple port of calls, which will be in Italy. I know Rome's one of them. There's going to be some place, I believe, down in Sicily, but there's one place before Rome, and I can't remember which one it is. But so we'll talk about that in the next video. And then also, our daughter is helping us out with this, Abby, and she's saying, "My goodness, will you old people please tell people to subscribe and like the videos?" Yes. So here's our unapologetic request: if you like the videos, please subscribe. Please press on that like button, and we'll see you next time, right?
Yeah, right.
All right.
Thank you, Sean. Bye.